How we doing, guys? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to all. It's Richie of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Going live, giving you a sporadic rundown of a very eventful Week 16 and a lot of squandered opportunities around the NFL to basically just do a little better, with playoff seeding and to fortify certain teams' destinations. And in a lot of cases, that did not happen. In some cases, as in our Sunday night football game, a certain team in Mile High Stadium flat out imploded and just ruined their chance. The Denver Broncos missing a golden opportunity to jump into playoff position. Their season now looks just about over. First and foremost, you got to tip your hat to the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick getting his team prepared on the road. Very difficult environment to win a football game in. Oh, she found the ornaments. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. It's impressive what they did yesterday. Bailey Zappi, I think at minimum, might give the Patriot front office something to think about if he is the quarterback of the foreseeable future, or if they go to the draft and Bailey Zappi is just on the roster, a similar situation to what the New York Giants are looking at with Tommy DeVito. But it was a strange game. Patriots had a very dominant third quarter. It was only 7-3 at the half, but ultimately the Broncos came back from 16 down, 23-7 deficit, only to see the Patriots kick a last-second field goal to win the game. That final Denver drive, I feel that the play calling was a little too predictable and, to be honest, a little too desperate. I don't think that they used the time to their advantage. And ultimately, it cost them a game. Bigger than that, it's going to cost them a playoff berth. And it would have been a huge win considering that they have a tiebreaker over the Buffalo Bills, a tiebreaker over other teams, a couple of other teams that are in the mix where they could have benefited from winning the game. That did not happen. Dallas Cowboys losing a heartbreaker to the Miami Dolphins and now appear to have lost control of the East lead. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles likely defeating my New York Giants tonight, and the Dallas Cowboys are back in the driver's seat. The Philadelphia Eagles back in the driver's seat. Very disappointing way to lose. I know that a lot of fun memes have been about the pass interference non-call where CeeDee Lamb was essentially looking like he was getting a wedgie. But the bottom line is the Dallas Cowboys yet again squander an opportunity to beat a good team, a good Dolphin team. It came down to the foot of Jason Sanders late. And I've said this weeks earlier that even if the Cowboys were winning some of these games, I feel that the fact that Philadelphia has an easier road, they're going to win the division. Philadelphia is currently nursing a 3-game losing streak, but I still think they come out of the NFC East with the division title. I tend to believe that Dallas is probably looking at a 5 seed. Whoever finishes second in that NFC East is going to be heading to more than likely Tampa. Tampa could wrap up that division next week. And Tampa put a smackdown in a big way on the Jacksonville Jaguars, going to hit on some quarterback needy teams. The Jaguars and Texans, without their starters, Trevor Lawrence and CJ Stroud, look lost. The confidence is not there. Both of them just got tattooed. We saw a Cleveland Brown team just completely in every phase of the game handle the Houston Texans. And in Jacksonville's case, really no resistance to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This would be more worrisome if other teams took care of business. But with the Steelers, movie here, dude, they awaken from a month-long slumber and bring the lumber to the rival Bengals. Got to give credit to third-string quarterback Mason Rudolph. And, the loss of Jamar Chase, his being unavailable with the AC joint thing, really hurt the Bengals offense. Jake Browning has received praise from everyone on our panel, but he didn't have it yesterday throwing 3 picks, or 2 days ago, I should say. The point is that the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, they're just as alive as anyone else going into this final stretch, but a game that they desperately needed and a game that they won out and got. Quite the shock, in my opinion, given that the Steelers hadn't won a game in a month and just looked like they were packing it in. I would have to say the story of yesterday, undeniably, is the Detroit Lions winning their first division title since 1993. At times, it appeared that the Vikings were going to hold them off, but the Lions would not be denied. That is not an easy place to go into and play on the road, making the big statement, and ultimately fortifying the division title. And tonight, the Detroit Lions are going to be looking very closely to the Baltimore Raven San Francisco 49er ball game, because the Lions still have an outside chance to win the overall number one seed, get a bye, and have the playoffs run through the Motor City. While I don't think people, even myself included, consider the Lions as a team that should win the NFC, when you consider that Philly's struggling and that Dallas is struggling, who else would be the team outside of the 49ers? I think it's something worth asking ourselves. But the Detroit Lions, hard not to be happy for them and their fan base. This has been a long-suffering fan base that has seen iconic players like Barry Sanders and Calvin Megatron Johnson leave the game early because they were tired of losing. So for a team to do that, see that happen, have players leave during both of their respective primes, it's got to be depressing. Happy for the Lions. Also pertaining to the division, the Green Bay Packers took care of business, albeit a lot more closer than I think most Packer fans would have envisioned. 30-30 victory in Carolina. They won it very late. They are still alive. The Bears beat the lowly Cardinals. Chicago Bears look like a better team the second half of the year. And when you consider that they have 2 picks in the top 10, one of them being the overall number 1 pick because of a trade that they received from the Carolina Panthers, the immediate future for the Chicago Bears looks rather promising. My picks for today, Monday's trio of games, I've got the defending world champion Kansas City Chiefs putting it on the Las Vegas Raiders 41-20, revitalizing an old school AFL rivalry. I just think today's the day that the Chiefs click. It's getting to be that time. They need to step up. Last year's NFL runner-ups, the NFC defending champion Philadelphia Eagles, will continue their winning ways in Philadelphia against my New York Giants. I got them winning by 2 scores, 34-20. Please, New York Giants, prove me wrong, but I got to call it down the middle. And although the Eagles are suffering quite a bit in that back secondary, they still have a dominant front seven that I think could really stymie the Giants' run game, and could be potentially another tough day for running back Saquon Barkley. I am very thankful that in my fantasy league, I have already sewed it up where it wasn't going to come down to worrying about if Saquon could carry me in this particular week. I like his matchup next week against the Rams a little better. That will be my championship round. For those interested, I'm either going to be playing 2-time champion Dom or possibly friend of the show who's a frequenter of the show, Mr. Brett Bandick, looking to make the finals and win his first Pops Cheddar in the Sun championship. Very exciting. I'm also amazingly looking at potentially making the finals in one of my work leagues, going 6-8, barely sneaking in, and I won both. My cousin has been the best team all year. Shout out Jay Campos. And it looks like I will be playing him if I do advance. To wrap it up, Super Bowl 47 rematch and a potential Super Bowl preview here. We've got the San Francisco 49ers and the Baltimore Ravens. The center of the football world will be paying attention to the events in Santa Clara. You've got 2 MVP candidates in the form of Brock Purdy and Lamar Jackson, both manning down their respective quarterback positions. Got to give all the credit possible to Coach John Harbaugh. What he has been able to do, given the injuries galore that the the Ravens have endured this year. You got an Odell Beckham Jr. who is not the same player that he was some years ago when he played for the Giants. But he is buying into what they're doing. He has been a good influence in that locker room. And at the end of the day, for Odell, it's all about winning. Zay Flowers is an emerging superstar. This is a team that has overcome the injury of perennial all-pro tight end Mark Andrews. His backup, Isaiah Likely, is pretty damn good. But week in and week out, he's come up and devised game plans that keeps them winning ball games. That's what the 49ers are dealing with. They got a damn good defense, too. As the 49ers go, quite possibly the most complete team in the National Football League. You're talking about a team that has all-world running back Christian McCaffrey, top 5 tight end in the league, George Kittle, the versatile, phenomenal Deebo Samuel, and a man who probably doesn't get enough credit, Brandon Ayuk. Their defense is headed by Dre Greenlaw, Nick Bosa. They are just so damn good. Not too many weaknesses on this 49er team, and the only real slump they had is when Deebo was injured. In a thriller, I've got the Niners winning it late. 2-minute drive to put them up for good, 34-30 over the Ravens. And do not be surprised if this is a Super Bowl preview. Having said that, the Buffalo Bills, I really believe, are going to find a way to get things running up the ladder in the AFC. While Miami is a very talented team, I still think there is that distinct possibility that it could come down to the final week of the season when Buffalo makes that trip down to South Beach, potentially for the AFC East crown. But I think Buffalo is battle-tested. They've been through these wars. This could be the year because nobody's truly talking about them. I love what the Ravens have done. They have been consistent. Tonight, the Dolphins will be rooting for the Niners. Tonight, a team like the Cowboys will be rooting for the Ravens, as well as a team like the Lions, a team like the Eagles. If the New York Giants somehow win today, the Dallas Cowboys get back into first place of that NFC East division. So, for the Giants, what's the gift? You try to send Philly a bit of a shitburger. Second oldest rivalry in the National Football League. And while the Giants are basically hanging on a banana peel, a loss today will eliminate them. It would be a great Christmas gift to all Giant fans, as well as some Cowboy fans who obviously have to root for the Giants today, to beat your main rival. We have not won a game in that stadium since 2013. But after what I saw last week in New Orleans, my fear from the eye test is that we might see something similar. Should be a good game nonetheless. A lot of emotions riding high whenever the Eagles and the Giants get on the same football field. I want to sincerely say from the bottom of my heart, and I speak for everybody here on my show, that I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, I hope you guys had a good Hanukkah. Bottom line is, I just hope you guys truly enjoyed your families. There is so much that we work hard for. There's so much that we try to make perfect around this time of the year. But speaking for me and only me, I must admit that the only thing that truly matters to me at this juncture of my life is seeing all the kids happy and the people we love just having that time. Because you could have all the money in the world and you could have all the success in the world, but one thing that you don't get back is time. I am Richie. We will be back before the end of the new year to bring you our Week 17 preview, and we also have a hip-hop show in the works. Enjoy today, everyone. Merry Christmas to all, and go Giants. I'm out for now.